Oh, I'm going to the Women's March. And I hope that you are too. And I hope that every single human being is going to the Women's March in whatever city, town, state they're in. I'm going in Los Angeles, whatever state that you're in, and I hope that you don't have to be a woman in order to go to the Women's March, because I hope that all humans go to the Women's March. And why is it so critical for all of us to go to the Women's March, to just stop everything, just stop, because we came from women. We came from women. Men and women came from women. Yes. If you look at science, if you study science, the gender that is most likely to alter in order to create life is women. If you study through various different cultures have this understanding that women are a higher elevated soul. So those are various different elements. Just the lack of equality in the United States, and in order to empower and show in numbers. I've never done a march. I haven't. I've never done a march, but I'm going to do it because it's so powerful and so important at this particular time in our place. I'm going to let you know a little bit about my family history, and how misogyny pretty much destroyed, our family in various different ways. My grandmother, she had daughters. She had very different daughters. She had a son as well. She had 6 children and 1 son. And when her husband passed away at a young age, he was 60, and he was the breadwinner. He's the one who brought in, and my grandmother had to literally scramble with her daughters in order to bring in money. She had to do whatever she had to do. Now, my grandmother is one of my best friends, and my grandmother loves to sing. Which is something that I have carried through. I love to sing. She loves to sing. We sing together. And I have a great relationship with my mother, and with my mother as well, my grandmother as well. And I see the possibilities and dreams being deferred. And it's painful. And I see a lot of it comes from misogyny. And we came from Peru, and how, if you think there's a glass ceiling, if you think there's a glass ceiling here, there's like a thick-ass bulletproof glass ceiling in Peru. And a lot of Latin American countries, so you see the women in their bikinis dancing around and being paraded as objects. And it's a thing. It's a thing in how men behave towards women, and the misogyny, and it's painful. It's deeply painful. Because when we go back and think about it, we came from women. And I think that this misogyny, this hatred of women, comes from the factor of that men at times just can't seem to let go of the factor of you came from a woman. Let it go. Just let it go. Your entire being, your entire construction, your entire essence comes from a woman. So you should always be worshiping that element. You should always be empowering that element, because that's the element. If you were speaking about women as objects, right? Spiritual objects, that element is the one that is going to give fruit to the future. That element is the one who nourishes, who has the future. So you have to empower that being. So the fight for Planned Parenthood, and the name Planned Parenthood, when 3% of their or very money, no money from the government goes towards abortions, right? But people still have an issue with the amazing work that they do about helping people have Planned Parenthood. So to me, it's painful, and that's why I'm going to the Women's March, because we're at a critical point where we just got to flip over, and you just got to make that choice and say, I'm going to go. I'm going to be another number 1, and then another person's going to be and you share this video, and another person's going to be a number 1, and then all of a sudden there are literally millions of people that are showing up to these marches all around the country, and that makes a statement. Even Trump supporters that really kind of see how critical it is, and who understand that women, who still voted for him but still are empowered by women, I encourage you to come. So what do you think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Are you coming to the Women's March? Let me know in the comment section down below. And I love you all. I want to wish you a wonderful year. Take care.